So hi guys, I've been posting for a while, but today I'd like to share with you some of our latest post-production workout on two images of one project. So let's start. Once when we have all the rendered channels in Photoshop, once we have loaded through by going file, scripts, browse, file, scripts, load files into stack, then you just need to put the right path to your render elements just by pressing OK, and it will load all the render elements in once, as you see on my screen. And the major one, the RGB, should be moved on the button below, and the rest I'm gonna put in one folder within a group with names. Ideas. The render itself should be inside the group with the name render, and I'll do another copy of the render itself. Then the first step is to cut off the white spaces of the alpha channel. For that purpose I'm going to select everything, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and I'll go to the channels where you see I have extra alpha preliminary added to from my 3D Max. Before I did the render, there is a small tick where we say that we need to alpha channel separated after once the render is done. But if you miss the step, you can add it extra after by putting a new layer and Ctrl V, what we have copied previously from the layers and the alpha channels. Then by pressing Ctrl on the alpha channel, we're going to create a selection around the white area, and then on the RGB layer we're going to add a mask. And you see how the mask is hiding my empty space where the clouds are from my HDRI. So there is another problem, but because I have cut all the windows around, I just need to paint over with black on the mask I just created with the alpha selection, and just I'm gonna brush all the windows I have added to my alpha mask like this. So from now on I can start working with the rest of the mask. Like I can add extra dirt by using very extra texture map. I'm gonna blend it with multiply. I'm gonna put it with let's say 12%. Actually, it's not doing so much actually on my image, and I'll go further with the rest of my render channels. So the next step is to separate all the windows, and for that I'm going to search for suitable color image with, there is it, render IDs, where I can add all the glass surfaces. And the way I'm going to do this is to add a mask, then I'll go to select color range, and I'm going to put all the glass I have in my scene or with other words, to add the surfaces where I need to put my reflection map over. I'm going to try again. Again, select color range, and there is a scale where we can, by increasing or decreasing, we can set up the range of what we are selecting in that way. So when I'm happy with my selection, then I need to paint over again with black what we did with the render, with the alpha channel itself. So now I have my selection for all reflection surfaces done, and the next step is to search for my reflection layer. There is it. And I'm going to use the selection what I did previously and add a new mask. Then I need to blend it, and for all the glassy surfaces I need to blend it with the screen mode. You can see the difference. And then I'm going to paint, but before that I'm going to create another copy, or yeah, I'm going to create another copy. I'm going to delete the mask, and I'm going to put another mask which I'm going to fill out with complete black. And then with the white brush and opacity of, let's say, 30, your brush should be soft. I'm going to paint over another glassy surfaces like the car and another object, just to increase extra. You see there is a difference. You can try also sometimes to blend it with another options like soft light. In that case, for example, probably I'm going to use it because I see it will sharp a bit more the places where I want to create, to bring some more glossiness. And here I have my normal map where I have all the surfaces in one direction with one color. With the pink I have surfaces, let's say this is X and this is Y, and then I have the Z direction which is painted with yellow. This is the principle of using the normal map as a render element in your image, and by doing that you can increase or decrease intensity of light on some of the facade. But I'm going to go back a bit later. The next thing is to go for the greenery in my scene, and I'm going to crop all the bushes and trees. If I don't have any suitable mask for that purpose, here for example I can use the green just for cutting off my areas where the bushes are, here and there. You know, most of the time it's a hand job, unfortunately, but there are a bunch of small details that need to be worked out, and if you're going much quicker by doing kind of selection, then you can always go back to refine small details. And let's make another copy of the render. Delete the old mask and I'm going to use another one. Let's see what we have cut now. So I see that I have also the cars in it, which is not so much helpful, but now I'm going to try to deselect by using one smart tool. First I need to activate the selection what I did right now, and I need to cut off by using on the top there is a couple of styles by using intersection. I'm gonna use the third one, and then just by picking some of the things I don't want to have in my selection. With other words, I'm gonna deselect the cars like this, and then I'm going to delete again the mask and add another new one, and let's see what we have got. There is one more left, but for now it's okay. Then I'm going to use the correction hue saturation. I'm going to attach to the layer below, and let's play with the colors in the sense of increasing the light first, or the saturation, and let's bring a bit yellowish with another correction. Color balance, again we can attach to the layer below, and let's go in the yellow direction a bit. So in general we can warm and make it a bit colder. Also we can increase the magenta or the green. And I also can try to do some more with the curve, which as you see it's increasing the light in general. Like this. Then I'm going to search for a sky which will fit to my scene. It's a shiny day, the light is coming from the right to the left. These are some of the important things I need to bear in mind, and these are all my folders with skies. Let's go to the These People and search for a nice sun sky. There is one which can be let's try to bring it over, and the sky should be going underneath Let's play around a bit with the measure by pressing Shift and T. That's my sky. Also we can lighter a little bit by adding additional layer on the top, and then by Shift and F5 we are going to fill out the whole layer with one color. In my case 50% gray. Okay, and I'm going to put in the overlay. Then with the brush again and black color, I'm going to, oh, this is too much, I need to put some lower opacity, 10%, and increase with white and decreasing from the right side. This is too much. And I also can play a little bit more with the saturation, like this. And now it's time for adding the people in my scene. So let's pick some images of people from Mr. Cutout. There is one with a girl on a bicycle, a walking couple. As you see on the left side, there is in different categories. Let's download. Now I need to log in first. I'm going to save it in the project folder. And then I'll put that image on the top, and I'll create a new folder with the name people. Let's scale it a bit. And that's my first person in the scene. Then I'm going to search another nice images. Let's try this one. And let's scale it again. As you see, the good thing by importing such images is that they go inside Photoshop directly as a smart object, which allows us to rescale it again and again without losing the quality of the image itself. And let's go and hunt for more people. There is a nice collection, Mr. Cutout, which I really highly recommend, and you can use also in your new scenes. Okay. So when we have aligned all the people in our scene, we need to go with one layer on the bottom of all the images. Then we need to select the brush and squeeze a bit, increasing the size and decreasing the opacity, like this. And we need to go under each person by painting a small step shadow. We can squeeze even a bit more, this. And then we need to create the real shadow underneath each person, which we need to do by making a copy. Like with the girl, the bicycle first, and then we can blend it and choose color overlay, and then we can distort a bit the image, this, and to try to put it on the right position as much as possible. I see also that I need to to make the shadow a bit darker, and we can try to blend it with different modes and to decrease a bit the opacity, like this. Also, another smart trick is to go to blur and choose radial blur. You can choose zoom selection, and yeah, this is too much. Radial blur. So much. Nope. Or just by adding a Gaussian blur, this, and decreasing a bit more the intensity of the shadow, like this. And the same we need to repeat with the rest of the images. The baby, oops, making a copy. I'm going to copy the whole effects I did with the previous layer just by holding Alt, and I'm going to add to the baby layer. Yeah. And again, playing with the distortion of the image in the sense of cheating with the shadow, this, and decreasing opacity. Making a copy of the layer first, and then copy all the effects which we used to the previous layer. Yeah, that's it. And distort a bit again. Just resizing in the way I'm showing you. This. And that should be pretty enough for our shadows. And decreasing the opacity. Like this. Here we can squeeze a bit more. You see the difference when we add blur effect to smart object. It becomes smart effects, which allows us to control with the previous mode before using the shadow itself, and so on until we complete all the shadows of the images. Again, copying, making a copy of the effects with the smart filters and so on. Yeah, the warning which appears with the small windows is telling us that the changes can be done when the smart layer, and that's why it's converting us. It's actually one step back before we've been using the smart filters. Here, for example, I would like to try again to start from the beginning, because sometimes when you distort too much the image, there is no way back, and that's why I prefer to start again. This, and to be more careful just the beginning of the conversion. It's still, I'm not still happy with the direction of the shadow. No, it's not allowing me to do what I want. And then I'll just add another new layer, and I'm going to paint with my brush the shadow in the way I would like to have it. This. And decrease a bit the opacity, and that's pretty enough. So my shadows are done. Now I'm going to proceed to another kind of correction. I'm going to create a layer for transition. This is something which I am not doing every time, but today I would like to try to pick the facade, which I have in green here, and then I'm going to add a selection to a new layer mask, and I'm going to paint over just to decrease the color or the intensity of the light from one to another direction, and to make it much more realistic. So I'll go to add 50% gray in the overlay, choosing a brush, increasing the size of the brush, decreasing the opacity, black, and now just by simple brushing over, I'm going to bring some dark flakes around. I see that I have added too much dark on that side. And I'll add some more white on some parts. Like this. You see before and after. With the help of using gray layer in blending with overlay mode blended, it allows me to add some more additional saturation to the image. Here I can bring some more realistic color. I'm going to proceed to repeat the same precision that I did with the facade, just by adding gray layer and paint over with white brush. You see the difference that I made some of the parts of the image to glow a bit more. You can also play with opacity. Yeah, you need to use and to cut some of the parts, like what I did now. It's a mistake which I need to repair. I'm going to select the girl and just to delete what I did with the paint over on the layer, the gray. Then I'm going to add another layer with 50% gray for the whole image. Again with the brush, I'm going to decrease opacity and I'm going to paint with the black on the foreground on the image, a bit like this. Just to increase the density of the transition on the ground, like this. And now I can proceed to the final tuning. I'm going to add a new folder which is called adjustments, and I'm going to merge all the layers. But before that, I'm going to play a bit more with all the people in my scene by pressing Ctrl, and one by one I can create a selection and to add selection to all the people in my scene in one. and then create a new layer and put the mask with a new selection. I'm gonna fill it with 50% gray again and then overlay. So this is one of the major steps by using transition in our post-production, and according the light which is coming from the right side to the left, I can paint over my people to make the sense of dark and white according to the light in my scene. This just how I say, switching and changing white and dark by pressing X and painting over. If I highlight what I do now, you see the difference, and before and after, which is helping me to stick a bit more my people in a scene to the real image. Here highlight a bit more some of the parts, and also I can put on to the whole folder of people here on the top, and then I'm going to attach it, and let's play. No, actually I'm going to use it to the gray layer, just like this. So I see that I need to decrease the opacity of the transition I did previously. Yeah. And now I'm going to merge all the things I did in my scene by pressing Shift, Control, Alt and E. Now I have completely new image with all the steps and layers merged in one. And then I'll go to camera raw filter, and now add some more clarity in the image like this, and I'll also can highlight a bit the temperature and increase a bit the contrast. Then press OK. I'm going to merge again, create a new copy, and I'm going to use a Nick collection, Color Effects Pro, which is providing me a lot of different kinds of predefined filters which I can use in my scene. I'm going to use bleach bypass, which is adding me nice contrast and details in my scene. But in general, it's really too much. And then I'm going to attach a new mask, and I'm going to paint it with black, and then with the white brush just I'm going to highlight some parts like here in front, increasing opacity. You see the difference. And again merging all the layers in one. Then I will try another things with camera roll, I'm going to pick some certain areas like here, here, and by picking certain points I can control some of the part in the image, not the whole image. Like this. And you can control the things you have: highlights, contrasts, clarity, and just pick OK. Then the last thing what we can do is to add some more vignetting and compare with the raw render we just started. This is the render and this is the final result. You see how big is the difference between the raw image and the post-production itself. I see that I need to clear some of the colors, like the yellow. You can control it by color selection, and in that way I'm going to saturate a bit everywhere where I have yellow in my image. And also I can add, that will be my last touch in the image, opacity 100%, some hard brush, and put some nice white gut rays in the image, like this, by adding white circles. And then we need just to go to blur, radio blur, choose the zoom, this, and pick OK. And let's see what happens. That's it. Some of the rays are too much, so I'm going to use some of them in certain areas, and I'm going to group all the flares in one and put nice mask. Then I'm going to brush it with black in the areas. Oops, it's too strong. Now I need to decrease the opacity and the softness of the brush, and again just brushing over the mask just to decrease some of the portions of the light coming inside. The so-called got rays in our scene. You see the difference. Also, I can use the filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and in the way of blurring a bit more. Let's see what happens if I increase a bit the rays like this, and then blend. I just want to refine as much as possible my gut rays like this. and to brush more over the mask. Like this. And again I make also what else we can do? Yes, we can put some black white correction, and in that sense we can also control some of the certain colors in our scene like this. And we need to blend it also in the luminosity before and after. You see the difference by increasing some of the certain colors and decreasing in others, in that way. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and stay in touch with us with the latest tutorials and news from 3D School Online. Thanks for watching.